Hey there everybody, this is Jason the Cartoon Fan. My next video was originally going to be about my Funko Pop collection, but I have a lot of pop figures, and because I put a ton of work into producing my 6-part Cartoon Network DVD collection video, the 2 videos about the situation Brendan the Cartoon and Movie Fan and I had with Jay's Blu-rays, and that video about the recent changes made to the schedule for Boomerang, I feel too worn out to make that video right now. I'm definitely going to start filming it sometime next week, but in the meantime, I'm going to upload some smaller videos that won't take a lot of time for me to produce. That way, you guys and gals will still get to see new content from me every day for the rest of this week, but at the same time, I won't risk getting so stressed out for making videos. I won't want to upload videos on this channel as frequently as I have been the last 3 weeks. In this video, I'm going to be showing all you loyal followers the Disney movies I currently own on DVD and Blu-ray. When I say Disney movies, I mean the animated canon, Pixar's films, and Disney's live-action material that either they produced in-house or were part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as the Muppets' films that Disney currently has the rights to. However, this video will not be featuring the DVDs and Blu-rays I own for movies produced and or distributed by 20th Century Fox, because I still want to consider 20th Century Fox a separate entity, even though Disney is making that increasingly harder to do. I'm planning on making a separate video on all of the DVDs and Blu-rays I currently own of movies and TV shows from not just Fox, but also Universal, MGM, and Sony, all together in one video. So if you want to see the titles for Fox that I have, make sure you stay around for when that video gets uploaded. This video will also not be featuring the DVDs that I own of DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, and the Goofy movie, because they're based on Disney television animation shows. More specifically, the original DuckTales and Goof Troop, respectively. And I already did a video showing off all of the Disney television animation content I currently own on DVD and Blu-ray, and that video featured those 2 movies as DVD releases that I have in my collection. So if you want to check out that video, the link to it, it's in 2 parts, will be in the description. As a bonus though, my home media releases of Disney's classic theatrical animation will be featured in this video, as well as a bonus Disney DVD I have that doesn't really fit into any particular category, and I'll explain why when we get to that particular DVD. I'm only a casual Disney fan, and since my family has a Disney Plus subscription, my collection only consists of films I either loved so much that I positively wanted to own them on disc, and or I found on disc for so cheap I would have been nuts to pass on buying them. And yes, all the movies in each category are organized in the order in which each film was released in theaters. Alright, let's get this collection video properly started with the very few live-action Disney movies I currently own. Starting with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which, yes, is also partially animated, but there is a good chunk of the movie that is live-action, and this film was released by Touchstone, Disney's adult division, even though it's rated PG, and, you know, PG means 7 and up. Though, let's be honest, if this movie was resubmitted to the MPAA today, it definitely would have gotten a PG-13 rating, because there's a lot of adult jokes that kind of slip through the cracks, but you could still kind of get them and it would justify having a higher rating. But anyways, this movie, this particular copy of the movie I have, was released in 2003 for the movie's 15th anniversary. I really want to purchase it on Blu-ray, I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. Anyways, front, left side, right side, and the back of the packaging. Here is what we got underneath. Comes inside a pretty nice digipack with this nice little glossy photo of Jessica Rabbit. There's supposed to be a second photo in there according to the back of the package, like the slipcover that this box comes in, but my copy doesn't have that, unfortunately. Anyways, here is disc 1, which features the movie in pan and scan. Here's the artwork underneath in case you wanted to see it. And here is disc 2, which features the movie in widescreen, with some more nice looking back artwork. Alright. Now, here is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This movie is a childhood favorite of mine because I used to own it on VHS, but unfortunately the DVD for the film only presents it in pan and scan 4:3, rather than its original widescreen theatrical aspect ratio. It did get released on Blu-ray in its original widescreen aspect ratio, but unfortunately that Blu-ray is a Disney Movie Club exclusive, and there is no way I'm going to join that thing. We have to buy like 4 or 5 different movies a month at higher than their retail cost just to get into the club. But the movie is in widescreen on Disney Plus. I just wanted to have it on disc anyway, just because, you know, it's a childhood favorite of mine. But if this movie were to get a Blu-ray release, like a retail Blu-ray release, I would definitely buy that and get rid of this DVD that I own of the movie. Front, spine, and the back. And here is what we got inside. Pretty nice looking full color artwork on the disc, which is cool because Disney usually uses plain gray or white discs on their DVDs and plain blue discs on their Blu-rays nowadays. And it comes with a chapter selection insert, so that's cool. Alright. Now I'm going to show you the 2 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies I own on Blu-ray. I really want to get more Marvel content on disc. It's just that a lot of the Marvel stuff are really expensive on DVD and Blu-ray, so I don't feel like purchasing a lot of them for like a ridiculous amount of money when I can just watch them all on Disney Plus. I was able to find both of the ones that I do have for ridiculously cheap, so I couldn't resist buying them. First up, Captain Marvel. Definitely the weakest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, but it's not a bad movie either, at least in my opinion. Front, spine, and the back. The reason why there's this little sticker here is because this was previously a rental copy, and the video rental store I went to, called Planet Video, which is located in Escalon, California, not too far away from my grandpa Bill's hometown of Sonora, was selling it for only $5. Here is what we got inside. It's a boring-looking blue disc, unfortunately, but not surprisingly for most of Disney's modern-day physical media releases. There is no insert, even though it says that this Blu-ray comes with a digital copy code, simply because this was previously a rental copy, but thankfully it's not inside an EcoBox case, so that's good. Alright, now, here is Avengers Endgame. This movie, along with Toy Story 4, were my two favorite things that come out of Disney in 2019. So I'm definitely happy to have gotten it on Blu-ray for only $5. Just like with the Captain Marvel Blu-ray, this was previously a rental copy. Front, spine, and the back. And here is the inside. Because this was a rental copy, there is no digital copy insert. But this Blu-ray has, this set has two Blu-rays instead of one. No DVD, though. And the reason why there are two Blu-rays is because Avengers Endgame is over 3 hours long. So there wasn't enough room on the regular Blu-ray to have all the special features. So this disc just has the movie, and the second disc is a bonus features disc. So that's cool. Alright, now I'm going to show you my DVDs and Blu-rays of the 4 Muppet movies I own that Disney currently has the rights to. Starting with the original Muppet movie from 1979. This DVD of the movie was actually released by Sony under their Columbia TriStar home video label, because this DVD was released in 2000, 4 years before Disney's acquisition of the Muppets. So it's pretty cool to have the original DVD of this movie, though it did get a much better Blu-ray release from Disney themselves, and I'm definitely planning on getting that sometime in the future. But I really like the artwork that's on the front cover here. Front, spine, and the back. And here is what we got inside. The disc is double-sided. The top side has the movie in widescreen, and the other side has the movie in pan and scan. One cool thing about this DVD is that it has a chapter selection inserts. I always like when DVD releases of movies have that as an insert. Alright, here is the Great Muppet Caper. This is a special edition that was released in 2005 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Muppets' debut on television on Sam and Friends. Unfortunately, it's not really that special of a special edition because there's only one extra on here. This movie also got released on Blu-ray in a double feature pack with Muppet Treasure Island, and I definitely want to get that as well because I'm a really big Muppets fan. Front, spine, and the back. And here is the disc. One cool thing about this DVD is that the front cover and the disc have Miss Piggy riding a Harley Davidson hog, which I always found to be kind of really clever, funny Easter egg. But then again, the Muppets are known for subtle, clever jokes like that, so I'm not surprised about it. Alright, so now moving on to some newer Muppet material. We have The Muppets from 2011 on Blu-ray. Has some pretty nice looking artwork with all of the main Muppet characters, as well as Gary, Mary, and Walter, so that's super cool. Front, spine, and the back. And the reason why there's this sticker here is because I purchased this as a used copy at Goodwill. And they just decided to hastily put the sticker, the price sticker, on the front cover here. Alright, so we have an insert. It's basically just an advertisement for extra Muppet merchandise, as well as a couple little trivia game stuff. I actually used to have this book when I was younger, Tales of a Sixth Grade Muppet. Crappy direct-to-video Disney sequels, Ant Farm, an alright sitcom in my opinion, and Once Upon a Time, which I've never seen before, but I heard it's good, and it's on Disney Plus now, so I might as well get around to watching it sometime. Oh, and there's a little advertisement here for the movie soundtrack. I actually have that soundtrack, and I think it's really good. I don't have it, I don't have a CD copy, I have it digitally. Alright, and then there's a Disney movie rewards code. I'm pretty sure it was already redeemed by whoever owned this last, but I didn't even bother checking. Alright, the DVD is a plain gray disc, unfortunately, but not surprisingly. But thankfully, the Blu-ray actually has some artwork on it. That's super cool. Alright, finally for my Muppet titles that Disney owns the rights to, Muppets Most Wanted, the unnecessarily extended edition. Front, spine, and the back. And here's what we got inside. There is no digital copy code in this, despite the front packaging saying that there would be, because I purchased this used at FYE. So, yeah. We have a plain blue disc for the Blu-ray and a plain gray disc for the DVD, as usual for Disney's more recent home video releases. Alright. Now I'm going to show you the DVDs and Blu-rays I currently own of Pixar's films. I have 5 of the original 6 films on disc. I want to get all of the Pixar movies on disc sometime in the future, even Cars 2, which I'm not a big fan of, just to complete the collection. Just haven't gotten around to doing it yet because those titles are not easy to find for lower than like $20 or so. But anyways, let's start the Pixar movies that I currently own with the film that started it all, Toy Story. This is a Blu-ray, but it's inside a DVD case. There are some copies of Disney titles on Blu-ray that are inside a standard-sized DVD case, rather than in the smaller Blu-ray case. I'm assuming that they did this so the Blu-rays would match the DVDs better on the shelf. Has a pretty nice slipcover, that's for sure. And this was released in 2010, in honor of the movie's, I think it was its 15th anniversary. Yeah, it's 15th. And also in anticipation of Toy Story 3's then upcoming theatrical release. Front, left side, right side, and the back of the slipcover. Here is the actual case. The artwork is pretty much the same as on the slipcover and is pretty nice looking. And here's what we got inside. The DVD in the combo pack is first, so here's that one. And here is the Blu-ray. We have two inserts. A more generic one advertising some other Disney titles and merchandise that were available at around the same time that this Blu-ray release came out, including an advertisement for Phineas and Ferb. That's cool. Lego, some coloring books, a little advertisement for Blu-ray, which makes no sense because this is a Blu-ray, and a Disney Movie Rewards code. When this Blu-ray first came out, you could use your Disney Movie Rewards code to get a free ticket for Toy Story 3, but of course you can't do that now, since the movie has not been in theaters for years, to say the least. Alright. Next off, for my Pixar movies on physical media, I have A Bug's Life. In my opinion, this is Pixar's most underrated film, so I'm definitely happy to have it on DVD. Front, spine, and the back. The little paper that they put inside the case is really shiny. I like that. Alright, so here is disc 1 and disc 2. For Pixar's 2-disc collector's editions, disc 1 has the movie and disc 2 has the special features, with one exception I'm going to bring up later. Alright, there's an insert here for those who wanted to see it. Okay, next off, for Pixar's movies that I own on physical media, Monsters, Inc. This is actually one of the very first DVDs I ever had in my collection. I've had it ever since I was a little kid, so you can see that the case is not in very good shape, but the discs inside are still okay, and that's all that matters. Monsters, Inc. is actually my favorite movie from Pixar. I think it's the most well-written and has the most lovable characters and the best comedy. That's why Monsters University I saw as even more disappointing of a follow-up to me than it was for some other people. But I still enjoyed that movie somewhat. Still, it's probably going to be one of the last films from Pixar that I purchase on physical media. Front, spine, and the back. And here is what we got inside the case. Here is disc 1 featuring the movie, and disc 2 featuring the special features. Alright, now we have Finding Nemo, everybody's favorite Pixar movie except mine. Like I mentioned earlier, mine is Monsters, Inc., but I still think Finding Nemo is a really, really good movie. As well as its sequel, Finding Dory. I really need to get that film on Blu-ray sometime in the future. Front, spine, and the back. Now, this is the only 2-disc collector's edition set from Pixar that differs from the others. Disc 1 has the movie in widescreen, and Disc 2 has the movie in 4:3, though it's not a direct pan and scan. Rather, it was digitally reframed to fit the 4:3 display rather than simply cropping it. And there are an even amount of bonus features on each of the 2 discs, rather than having Disc 1 be the movie in both formats, like both aspect ratios, I should say, and then having all the special features on Disc 2. Here is the insert, with some very nice looking pre-conception artwork used for the film, as well as some summaries of the special features that we get in this collector's edition. Oh wait, I forgot to mention that the insert also has these really cool looking production stills, as well as the main character models used for each of the main characters of the movie, so that's cool. Finally, for my physical media releases of Pixar's films, I have The Incredibles. This is a 2-disc collector's edition, of course, and the top of the front cover says widescreen because rather than having both widescreen and 4:3 versions, like for some of the other Pixar films that I showed you on DVD and earlier in the video, Disney decided to release this film on DVD in separate widescreen and full-frame versions. Really am a big fan of this movie. I would probably say it's my second favorite Pixar film behind Monsters, Inc. So I'm definitely happy to have it on DVD. Incredibles 2 was also really good, but not quite as good as the original film. I think it comes very close, but not quite. And I definitely want to get that film on Blu-ray as well. Front, spine, and the back. And here's what we got inside. Here is Disc 1, featuring the film. And Disc 2, featuring all the special features. And this is the insert. Oh yeah, I should also mention that Incredibles was home to one of my very first fictional character crushes, Violet Parr. I don't really have a crush on her anymore, but I still think that she's my favorite of the members of the Parr family. Alright, so those are all the live-action Disney films and Pixar movies that I currently own on DVD and Blu-ray. I don't have enough room on my phone to make this video in full, so it's going to have to be another 2-part video. So make sure you stay tuned for part 2, featuring all of the Disney Animated Canon movies I own on DVD and Blu-ray, as well as those bonus titles I was telling you about. Until next time, this is Jason the Cartoon Fan signing off.